All right, let's see. We have Uma's here and Mariel's here. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have Taylor Brune. She is VA. She has her own agency. She meets with us once a month, female physician entrepreneurs, to help our businesses grow. And tonight she's going to be talking about what I call like intentional posting.
Yeah.
Many of us just post, but we don't have like a good plan behind it. So we're just going to cover that. Taylor, take it away. I know that you usually present or just talk, however you want to do this.
Yes. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining, and for the virtual watchers as well. So tonight I do have a slideshow so that, everyone can see visually everything that I go through. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. Okay. Okay. And then screen. Here we go. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about intentional posting, from random posts of like your food, of, your day, just random thoughts, to being more intentional with your social media. And, this type of social media, when you intentionally post, it can support your business, your funnels, your podcasts and courses, and any other offerings you have. So now, first, before I say anything, it's great to have two different platforms. One, a lot of doctors and myself, we have a personal, for instance, personal Instagram where it's with our friends, our family, sharing those types of photos. But when it comes to building your audience, getting leads, getting patients, you do want to have that more professional account where your followers and the people you're following are all, strategic, based on the audience that, you want to bring in for your leads, for your patients, for your clients. So it's definitely okay and great to have the two separate accounts. So I just wanted to start off saying that. But one of the problems with the random posting of, selfies or, animals or plants or your food, and it doesn't really have to do with your business or your platform or what you're trying to help people with. The problem is, you don't have a strategy to be able to have everything be aligned and bring in that revenue, as well as the opportunities and clients. And then, chasing trends. Some doctors just like to chase all the trends, but, do the dancing ones, the B-roll videos. But then, there's no strategy on all of these trends. It's just, posting for the views and the likes. And at the end of the day, the views and likes are great, but it won't get you the revenue, the clients, unless there's a strategy behind it. Also, creating the content with no destination, not sending people somewhere in an action, like to sign up for your email list. So it's a lot of effort, but low return. So it's really great to have your social media platforms, not just Instagram, but TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, etc., all have a strategy and a plan. So it's very common because obviously they don't teach this in medical school. Everything just has become digitalized and changed for doctors and physicians. And now you guys have to have social media to be able to be seen more by patients and possible clients. So, it is common because physicians, don't have much time. So they just want to post real quick and not really think about the whole format, the whole strategy behind it. And there's a lot of pressure to stay visible, the lack of the clear marketing systems and being new to social media. And then, of course, everyone goes through this, the fear of being too salesy. And it's okay because there's even strategy with selling
You
on.
guys were right about me niching and just being Kate's obesity doc reluctantly.
Yeah, yeah. So the niche definitely helps. But yeah, so the fear of being too salesy, a lot of people deal with that. So you want to reframe social media's role, and you want to look at it, social media is not the main business. Yes, you can eventually make passive income by earning money. Like through brand deals, affiliate marketing, and even just posting content and getting paid for that. Of course you can, but that's not your main business. That's, the passive income, and that comes later. Social media is a traffic source. You want to look at it as just another way to bring in the people to be visible with your website of your business and the offerings. So its job is to guide people somewhere intentional, whether it's your email list, your webinar, your course, to become a new patient, a discovery call, etc. So what revenue supporting social media looks like, it is possible. I've had clients on all of the spectrum, from beginning, middle, to making a lot of money per month, 6 figures per month just by social media. So I've had clients all on the spectrum, and it is an opportunity that does exist. And you want to make sure that you do establish clear messaging with what you write, with your content and your plan. You want to have the repeated themes, meaning before you really hone in on your social media, you want to have like pillars, like content, strategy, brand pillars. So for example, um, you know, uh, a doctor who has a business, a hospice business. She has hospice patients, but one of her main programs, psychedelics and healing and helping practitioners, like teaching practitioners how to do psychedelics and end of life care. So that's a program that she has, including the business over here, and then an online business with coaching and offerings. So she has all these things. And in order to be able to share all of these offerings, we have created content pillars. So education and inspiration and healing and sales promotion with the program, with teaching people the psychedelics, teaching physicians self-care, really how to transform the physicians. And then over here we have hospice as a content pillar as well. So basically take all your offerings, take all the things that you're passionate about, that you want to educate and teach people to go from A to B in order to make money, and those can be your content pillars. And then of course, if you do want more lifestyle, like with weight and obesity, you can have the lifestyle of like the nutrition, your meals, like the travel, and you can incorporate healthy weight, healthy meals while you travel. So, you can do so many different things, but it's so important to have a list of these content pillars, because once you have these content pillars, repeated themes, you can create strategies on all the content that you create, whether it's your email, newsletter, blog, podcast, YouTube video, etc., courses, etc. And so you do also want the strategic calls to action. You always want to send someone, unless it's more of like an inspirational post, or you want to keep it more of the emotional, lighthearted side post. But for the most part, you're gonna want to have strategic calls to actions. Book a discovery call with me, comment the word, whatever, link in bio, check my story out, etc. And also having the revenue supporting social media. You want to align it with your funnels. If you have a podcast and all your offerings, your courses, your digital products, etc. So you're basically setting up I guess you could call it like a little kingdom of different, buildings that support your one main goal of bringing people into these buildings. And so that will connect everything. Hopefully that makes sense. So your core business ecosystem. So things you want to really focus on building is your social media platforms, your email list. You want these leads because you're not going to get sales without leads. And one of the main ways to get leads is through building your email list. And then obviously, if you have a podcast, you really want to connect that in as well. And then having the funnel set everything up, and then products, courses, like ebooks, workshops, etc. So everything should work together. So you want to start with one clear goal. Do you want to grow your email list in this season? Do you want to promote your podcast in this season? Do you want to sell, launch a course or product in this season? So each season, quarter, or year, depending on your plan, you want to have one primary goal per season. You always want to, offer and open up all opportunities of all offerings, of course, so that they can visit your website, your social media, and they see all the offerings that you have. But to really promote through social media, you want to pick one primary goal per season and focus on that, especially during the launch seasons of your new business, new practice, an online course, a podcast, etc. So social media supports your funnel, which is a funnel to bring in people to either be your patient or purchase something. Social media supports the traffic because it educates at the top of the funnel. So social media helps establish your credibility. It helps establish you as a thought leader, the main person that people want to go to on social media. And it also is a way to build trust, that relationship with your audience, because having relationships, professional relationships, social media relationships, and that building that trust will help you sell and it will help you keep long-term clients and long-term buyers and long-term patients as well. And social media, drives the traffic to your lead magnets, your download freebie guide for your email, your webinar, evergreen webinar that drives people into book a coaching call with you, etc. And it warms up future buyers. So obviously, the sales rule, you have to see something 8 times before, possibility of someone buys something. So social media just helps with that. And then funnel focused content types. So this can be, setting up a ManyChat, and I've talked about this in other workshops, but ManyChat is a really good tool, automation tool where, it is a funnel. It's essentially a funnel where you post a piece of content, someone comments, and then it sends the link to where they need to go in their DM. And then it also promotes the engagement in your post and extra comments and whatnot. So funnel focused content types to drive people to these funnels. You want the educational posts. You want to be seen as the thought leader, as the expert in your field and specialty. Storytelling, this is huge, especially with doctors. You want to humanize yourself. You want patients and people who are, potential clients to really be emotionally drawn to you. So storytelling of what you've overcome and how you're going to help them overcome, helping them envision what their end goal is, helping them envision those, triumphs. That is amazing marketing. So you always want to share that part of yourself, that, the grit and what you had to go through to get to where you are today in the specific area that you're helping people. And then authority building content, that's pretty much the same thing as educational posts and just teaching and, having the calls to action as well. So you guide the content, you guide the audience with your content, and then of course having promotional that is strategic. You during launch seasons, during like times when you're promoting a new, you know, a new opening podcast or a course launch or a new ebook. It's a strategy, and it's launch season time. So it's just for a period of time, not 24/7, because people will see you as only selling, and then they'll unfollow you and be like, this doctor only cares about making sales, and she doesn't really connect or educate. So you do want to strategically place your promotional sales posts and funnels, you know, and not do that for every piece of content. And then, so here's an example, which is easier, which I tell all physicians, we need to establish this because this is, you know, 101, business 101. This just helps build on top of every other funnel and goal that we have. Having an email funnel, so like an educational post, and then the call to action is download the free guide, which is like a mini version of what you teach in a course, or for like business practice owners, an educational post on a specific like disease that you treat, and then call to action, a free resource, like a guide for the patients, you know, like local resources, you know, for patients to access, you know, like a symptom guide, symptom tracker for the patients on the specific disease that you treat. And then it leads them to the email, and signing up in the email. And then once they're in your email, you nurture them by sending them more valuable content, as well as, you know, leading them into next steps. Book a discovery call with me. Next steps, enroll in our mini course that introduces you how to, improve your autoimmune disease, etc. And it's simple, repeatable, and high converting. And this just is number one basic 101. And then the using the DM funnels, so direct message funnels on social media. And this is the ManyChat I was talking to you about. And you can comment, or the people will comment or DM the keyword, and then ManyChat will take care of the entire automation of bringing them in, sending them to the link, having them sign up. And it's just instant delivery of the resources. So it takes them off the platform and into your email list. And then tools, tools that support DM direct message funnels. Like I said, the ManyChat for Instagram, Facebook, and now ManyChat has opened up to TikTok, but I've seen it's kind of like has some bugs to work out because they just opened it up in the last year to the United States. So I would mainly use it for your Instagram and Facebook until they really fix all the bugs for the TikTok. And then, of course, you can always do additional programs and use Zapier to connect the other types of programs with your social media and email. And so that's a little bit more advanced. And then, of course, more tools is having an actual email platform. The three that have been super easy, super friendly, user friendly for a lot of physicians, you know, not too much time to take in, is the Flow Desk, MailChimp, and ConvertKit. So the physicians that I've worked for and I've managed these platforms, they love them, and the audience loves them too. And you're able to grow a pretty large audience for good prices. Okay, so social media that supports your podcast. I know not everyone has a podcast, but a majority of you do or are thinking about it. So when you do social media to promote your podcast, you want to share like episode clips. You want to do like for example, a new episode. What we do for a new episode is two episode clips as reels on all the platforms, the main video on YouTube, and then a newsletter in the email. And then like another person does a blog. She does a blog as well on the topic of the podcast. So you just want to circulate and use as much content as you can in different areas to promote it. And then obviously, you know, for your carousels or your graphics, you can do quotes, insights on like a carousel on Instagram or Facebook. And then, yeah, so like the episode clip or the reels from the long form episodes. And then having those consistent episode reminders, like I said, and then traffic. Yes. Okay. So one simple way to just bring more traffic and views and subscribers to your podcast is just doing meta ads, Facebook and Instagram, even Google, but traffic, meta ads, and LinkedIn as well. But having a traffic ad and then a lead ad, but a traffic ad just brings people to it. So you have more eyes on your podcast, especially during, you know, your first month launching a new podcast. That really helps get the word out and quicker, brings in more people quicker. So podcast funnel example, you have your podcast episode, and then, you know, the subscribers, or future subscribers on social media can download the free resource, and then get on your email list. So it just directs them. And then you can put in your show notes, you know, click this link, and then you put the link, the URL website link to the opt-in page where they sign up. So you can put that in your show notes as well. And then they'll get a downloadable freebie guide, etc. And then also mentioning your lead magnet for your email list in episodes, like in the beginning, middle, end, just, you know, putting it in there, like how the major podcasters do ads and mention products throughout. You can do the same thing and mention your lead magnet, because that will just help people be like, oh, okay, look in the caption of the show notes and I get this additional resource. And then, like I said, link in show notes. And then this is long-term audience building, because even if you launch an episode, not everyone's going to see it that day. So it can be like months from when you post it, and even like years, and people will be clicking and still opting into your email list. So it's just always good to have that, those few little strategies. So social media that supports courses and products. Teach the problem, not the full solution, because the full solution is through your course and also through, like, if you do coaching or through your patient. So you just want to teach about the problem, give them enough that, you know, it brings them in, it hooks them in. Definitely talk to their emotions. Once again, storytelling in your content. Show the outcomes of people who have gone through your courses and products, and even yourself and you making the course and product, and then finally launching, because then people can see your process of making it as well, and people like that as well. And then testimonials from your programs, you know, having them do videos, or, you know, obviously written. The videos are top tier because you can put that on your website as well, and then you can use those as ads to promote your course. So finding or having like your students in your online courses share video testimonials, even patients and clients too, because you could just use the video as content. And just normalize the transformation, so that the more they hear it, they're like, okay, this person can get me this transformation. This is the person I need to go to. So the funnel example for course promotion, once again, social content, your carousel, your reel leads them. They can lead to a free training, evergreen, pre-recorded webinar, or a live webinar. depends your capacity. But I like to say do both live webinars and do pre-recorded webinars. Then you can see really what people prefer in your niche, in your specialty, and what you're teaching. And always when you launch, it's good to have a live one as well, so you can meet the people and talk. And then you just record that and then use that as the lead magnet. And then once they're in with the free training in your email, they'll get the email sequence, and then it'll send them to the course. And you can also do this funnel with Meta ads and TikTok ads as well. And it avoids the cold selling. It builds the trust first, and it converts much better, especially when you do either a live or an evergreen webinar. It definitely converts much better. And then content buckets that drive revenue. So like I mentioned before, the education, authority, story, promotion. This is all the type of content you want on your platforms, no matter what you're selling. You just always want to have these mixes of content in videos, carousels, and your stories, like your Instagram or Facebook stories. And then scheduling consistency tools. Because you're physicians, you're very busy. You need to strategize with your time as well, so you're not burnt out all the time. Obviously, having a team is number one, but if you can't hire anyone right now, while you're building it, you want to have, social media schedulers. Facebook is free, and you can schedule on Instagram and Facebook. Same with like YouTube and TikTok. You can use their actual schedulers to schedule your content out a month in advance, which I recommend, and then batch content monthly. It is very harrowing and overwhelming to physicians to have to do so much content because you're working full time and then you have families, etc. If you're doing research, and coaching on top of your clinic, so it's good to have maybe like one Saturday a month, take out 4 hours, batch content for 3 months, and you're good to go. And this will really truly help you in your time, and you feel confident with it. And it's fun. I mean, it's hard because your voice gives out if you do, reels for that entire time, but you can always do both, but or have 2 days a month where you batch like an hour and just film, and then edit another day. But yeah, repurpose all this content, take the audio transcript or have your team take the audio transcripts from all your videos, your podcasts, and create content like carousels and B-roll videos from it. That helps. And then even blogs, etc. And then consistency is much better than the frequency. Yes, with the algorithms, you need frequent posts, but being consistent in your planning, scheduling, strategizing, it helps so much with preventing the burnout, because that is a number one goal for physicians. Just don't get burnt out with social media. It's not worth it. Okay, repurposing for efficiency. One podcast episode, you can do multiple reels, especially if it's an hour-long episode. You can do many reels. Of course, you want to put in other things, so it's not just the podcast episode, but you want to be able to repurpose into multiple reels. You can write an email newsletter, a blog post, even social captions like carousels, like I mentioned before. So yes, with intentional posting, you don't want to not include a CTA unless it's, like an inspiring quote post, or, you are sharing like a lifestyle type post. Otherwise you want, call to action. You want to guide them. Not including your website. You need to put your website somewhere in your profiles on all your social media, as well as in the caption. Having inconsistent messaging, like having just random messaging that just makes no sense or doesn't align with your content pillars, your business, or your offerings. Promoting without nurturing. You want to like promote and get people on your list, but you also want to nurture them. They're your audience. They're your community. These are the people that are going to be buying from you, that are going to be helping you make a livelihood in addition to your medical, profession. So you want to be able to nurture them and build that social media online relationship with them and give, value instead of just promoting all your events on your newsletters. You want to actually teach them, educate them, give them some free downloadable freebies here and there. It one, keeps them subscribed, and two, helps them to purchase at your next launch. And then leaving to last minute, few days before, it takes planning and strategy for launches. I've had clients do both, and it just doesn't work. You want to be able to plan your launch, plan the content for the launch and your strategy so that it is a successful launch. It is successful in growing your social media as well. So yes, beginner friendly. You want to choose one main platform, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. You want to choose one funnel, whether it's the ManyChat, an email list downloadable freebie, or even an ad campaign that leads them directly to it. You want to choose one CTA, call to action, and try committing to consistency for 90 days. And then watch how your business transforms. Watch how you bring in more patients. It really is incredible seeing a plan of action and strategy really come to fruition after the 90 days. It's beautiful. Okay, also, I want to make a note. So intentional social media, for those just starting out with like brand new social media, just starting to post, all of these things will come, but you do want to at least have 1 month, 1 to 3 months of posting and educating and having people get to know you. And then you can, put in all the different funnels. If you're a beginner, I would have, the email list as your first one that you have, and then you just build upon that. So it's not overwhelming, because I know new posters, new physicians that are new to posting, it can get overwhelming, and you want to build that audience and bring the visibility in. So either doing, the visibility traffic ad or lead ad in the beginning, or, your ManyChat with sign up to the email list. Those are two very beginning great strategies for physicians. Okay, intermediate action steps. So you've been posting a while, you want to now get more serious, you've had a couple launches, you want to definitely add ManyChat, and you want to repurpose all your content in different areas. You definitely want to have your email opt-in and freebie, and then connect that with the ManyChat. You want to align the podcast, email, social, product, offering, business, etc. all together, and you want to track everything. Look at the metrics on all the social media platforms, see what types of content do really well, see how many sales you made, etc. And then more advanced, you want to have multiple funnels. You want to have everything just built out. You want to have the evergreen content webinars going, quarterly launches. Some physicians just launch once, and they're like, why don't I get consistent people signing up all year? Because you only launched once and you don't make any content. You want to continue to put your offerings, put your courses in the audience faces. Obviously change up your social media, change up the launch. So that's, once again, strategy behind it. And then, success will look different for each person. Timeline will look different for each person. So do not compare yourself to other physicians, because there are physicians that have been on here for years that are finally, getting those millions of views, getting those brand deals, etc. And then there's physicians who have a one-hit wonder. As soon as they start posting, go viral, and then they're thrown into this whirlpool of social media and being a guru and an influencer. So it's going to look different for each person, but do not compare yourself, because you will have your audience come find you. The people that are supposed to buy from you and be your audience and be your community will find you. And back to success, what success looks like. Having content with purpose and intention, clear audience journey, moving them from social media into wherever you want them to go. Having less burnout, not feeling so burnt out all the time. And this can also include delegation and hiring someone to help you, because doing all of this is a lot on top of practicing medicine. So you want to make sure you have the delegation, the team that knows what they're doing, so that they can help you succeed quicker. And then having more predictable results. The more you launch, the more you run different ad campaigns, the more predictable results you'll have, and you'll be able to replicate things. And then how I can help. I put my email here and my website. Please, if you have questions, let me know. I'm so happy to answer questions. But I'm also, I help with social media strategy, funnel building, content planning, podcasts, management, course integration, system setup, etc. I do the marketing and the social media content creation, etc. So if you need help, please reach out. You don't have to do this alone. It's a lot, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. And then here's my email again. And then we'll do some questions if you have any questions.
Taylor, Sharon, it's Sharon. This was an awful lot. I'm thinking this could have been easily 3 different topics. Like you covered it all and at a high level, which I appreciate. I feel overwhelmed listening to this, because I'm like, oh my goodness. And you're right. Like it helps to have somebody. I want to, for the people who came, let's bring it, like for those who are just starting, or where are you getting stuck? And really, let's try to do like a Q&A where we dive a little deeper into, first of all, when you come off a camera, or come off of, you don't have to come on camera. When you come off a mute, tell us who you are and what you're doing and what you're trying to do, like what you're trying to build up. That will help us, provide some answers for you. Excellent talk, Taylor. And I feel like, because this is what you do all the time, but I'm like, oh my goodness. Julia, how are you doing? And nice to see you. What have you been up to?
Good to see you.
Good
All
to-
is well. Thank you so much, first off, to Taylor and Sharon for organizing this. So I am working at the hospital still as a pediatric hospitalist in the Kansas City area. And then I would say probably February or so, I was sort of able to I'll say have everything in order to officially sort of have a forward-facing platform. So pediatric telemedicine, working on patient acquisition, help trying to get the word out. So that's sort of where I am right now.
Okay. So are you trying to build up the telemedicine practice for yourself?
I am, yeah.
Perfect. Is there an area in pediatrics that you specialize in?
For the telemedicine practice, no, it's more general pediatrics, after hours, some special emphasis on services that may not typically have been available via telemedicine. So some technologies that will help, I'll say, diagnose strep throat with some new products via telemedicine. So I'd say general pediatrics, but including after hours.
Okay. Taylor, you're on mute. Let me see what's going on.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep, we can.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. First off, that would be amazing to be diagnosed with the strep throat online versus having to get the stick. I just always hated that
Mhm.
growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a key thing to promote because a lot of kids struggle with that and a lot of parents, it's just so overwhelming for parents. So part of your audience obviously is the parent, you know, to the child and what you can offer that other, you know, regular clinics may not. So you really want to focus on what you provide that is specialized, that is unique, and being able to educate the parents on, you know, the products and devices and things that you use. You know, like even a content example is, how do I diagnose strep throat over telemedicine? You know, and then they one, get educated, two, kind of see your method, how you work with patients, by you outlining what the process is, and then that builds trust, and then, you know, they sign up for your call, etc. So really focusing on those valuable assets that you're doing, and even having after hours, like parents with newborns, you know, I don't know what age you go from, but you know, parents with newborns and you know, new parents, they freak out, and you know, they don't have access. They have to wait either in the hospital, ER, urgent care, or wait till the next morning. So that's a huge bonus where you can offer that after hour care, and even from their own home, so they don't have to go out in the middle of the night with all the kids that they have. So really focusing on those specialty things, at least from the top of my head, I'd have to really like see everything that you offer to be able to create, you know, strategies with everything. But
Yeah.
on the top of my head, those things would be really
Awesome.
helpful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you an email so I can schedule a call and talk with you
Oh yeah,
in
I'd love
detail.
that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. Yeah.
Uma, Tessa, Martina, Marielle. Anybody else?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Marielle, perfect.
Oh, hi.
Well, I'm not talking. I just turned my video on because I didn't want to be. Who's talking? Tessa might be talking.
Yeah, that was me, but I can wait. Whatever.
Whoever wants to go right ahead.
I didn't have anything specific. I'm just adding to my never-ending to-do list. So thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me
Hi.
okay?
Yes. Hi, Tessa.
Hi. So I'm actually driving from urgent care. I still pick up in the urgent care to, you know, pay the bills. And I'm driving over to my office. I just opened an in-person office. I'm renting a space. And I do midlife women's health. And so
Okay.
and I did telehealth from July until a week ago. And I will always do telehealth, but
Yeah.
I just opened my doors for seeing patients in person last
Congrats.
week. So thank you. And so I'm running over there to finish putting stuff together because I have my first in-person tomorrow.
Oh.
So
Yay.
but one of the things and why I listen to you a lot, Taylor, with Sharon, is because I have been over the last 9 months on the side trying to build a digital course and just basically learning that there's not like one big system. I had to like learn like, oh, okay, I host it here, but I have to film it here and I make my slides here. And oh my God, it was that's why it's taken me so long. But I'm getting to the end of that. And like the big thing for me is then building my email list and then promoting this, because obviously this doesn't matter my licensure. Like I can promote it to any you know, state or whatever. But I guess that's where I'm like, you know, that's the next big thing I have to figure out is how to build that into, like, I have a weekly email that just goes out to, I have like maybe 100 people on my list. And
Okay.
you know, some of them are patients, but most of them are not.
Okay.
But anyways, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I've been working on.
Yeah. Well, first, I mean, there's a lot that goes into course launch.
Mhm.
So please feel free to email me and I can answer more specific, you know, questions. But you're at the stage where, yes, right now it's very important to start establishing yourself, if you haven't already, on social media so that you can open up more, you know, availability to bring in more people to your list, and then establishing, you know, that lead, which would be, I would suggest always with courses, and building your email list, is the evergreen or live webinar, because it's just a mini teaching about your course.
Okay.
And then, you know, having that and leading people to that through your content, through ads, through your email, and then having them watch it, and then, well, depending if it's live or evergreen, I'm just
Sure.
going to say evergreen, that's pre-recorded. Once they watch that, then of course through your emails, and even, well, through your emails, you'll want to then lead them to the actual course. Be like,
Okay.
oh, you know, next steps, purchase this course, enjoyed the webinar, purchase this course. That's just one main funnel. But yeah, you'll want to really strategize on your content, on the promotion, on like the marketing, the ads, like ad campaigns, even doing like cheap to begin with, cheap ad campaigns to bring in the traffic and the leads, and then
Okay.
sales. And then of course having your content and being more visible will bring in a lot of people. And then of course the strategy, building the strategy for your actual launch. And then, you know, being able to read all the metrics and everything that happened in the launch, being able to put it together and then decide on what you need to do next to have a better launch. You know, because for majority of people, if you're starting out, especially with social media and a smaller email list, so everyone has to start somewhere. So don't
Right.
compare yourself. Like, we all start here. You know, you want to get in the mindset that, yes, you're going to have a successful launch. It may not be thousands of people because you're still building your audience, but whatever you learn from the first launch, you take and you apply it to the next launch, and you will get more people then. So it's just multiple launches and stepping stones. So have that in your mind. Now, obviously, like with course launches and the content, like I mentioned before, you do want to have, you know, storytelling, any testimonials. So having like some of your friends or colleagues.
Yeah, I was gonna do some beta testing. Yeah.
Yes, beta testing is great one for your testimonials, and just seeing and fixing any glitches or things that you need. But you can use the testimonials and the feedback that they give you and use that as content, use that as ads to bring in more people, because it's their stories, you know, how it helped them, what they were looking for. So there's so many things you can do, and I know it's really overwhelming. So definitely like send me an email.
Do you work with people like just like project based too, like
Yeah.
that, like this
Yeah.
to like help me through that? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Because a majority of physicians, it's really funny, when they come to me, you know, similar situation that you're in, and we start with one project, but then, you know, as we go with the strategy, they eventually want to like add more projects throughout the year. And then some just become long-term, like if they want to add in social media, and then I just take care of that for them. So it really, I'm very individualized with people who come to me, because I know each situation's different, and I know there's going to be different needs with your products, your offerings, business, marketing. So yeah, I'm very individualized in what you need, and I can do project by project or step by step. So it's not like everything at once, overwhelmed, and burnout happens. I try to avoid that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congrats,
Sharon.
though. Very exciting.
What other questions? Would you also help brainstorm? Yes, but
Yes.
maybe if you want to brainstorm now a little bit, you could have everyone can weigh in. It helps to, we're all on social media, right? We're all scrolling, looking at things. So go ahead and if you want to share your idea now. If you guys came for a reason, so, use this time.
Yeah.
We have a few minutes.
I have a question then, if I may.
Yeah.
So you did my audit recently, and I didn't follow through because I was overwhelmed. But what I was gonna ask is that I'm a rheumatologist and I'm a fibromyalgia pain coach,
Mhm.
and I have a website for my practice. I
Mhm.
have a website for my coaching, and I have a podcast that I haven't contributed to in over a year. And my question for you is whether it would be even possible for me to so basically somebody comes to my my business website, my
Yes,
main
the
practice
clinic.
website,
Yeah.
and they determine that well, this is not for me, or so
Mhm.
I need to put a link there obviously to my coaching website.
Correct. Yeah.
But I don't know that I'm advanced enough to have like chats, or how did you call it?
Oh, the chat GPT.
No, the DM chats. I don't think that this is where I am, but I'm basically looking to have people, for example, right now, I'm in the middle of my fourth iteration of the fibromyalgia coaching cohort. I have 4 people, and I would love for other people to start like waitlist, so that and I would love to like tell them, if you sign up now, we will guarantee you a certain price, and after a certain time, like, would that be considered too salesy? And how do I go about
No.
it? Do I just do a Google list, and that's what when I do a post on Facebook? I primarily post on Facebook. I find IG too confused. So is like, what do you think would be the approach? If I like my specific goal is to want patient to I'm sorry, prospective clients to want to sign up for my next cohort that will not start until August.
Yeah. So how we promote, or how I promote with other clients, because I have ones that do evergreen, and then I have the cohorts like yours where it's more live, and then I even have hybrid, where it's live and evergreen, like online. So for the hybrid, similar to your, yeah, you do have hybrid because you have had the online course and then the live meetings.
Yeah.
So what we do and what we're doing for her next cohort, we've run ads, traffic and lead ads to bring in, and then sales to bring in. So that's one way. You're getting the leads and people seeing your program. And then obviously we're doing like YouTube, TikTok, Facebook and Instagram, and then LinkedIn for her as well. So we're just getting as much word as we can out. I know you only do Facebook, so
I could do IG. I could do some simple IG.
yeah, because your audience was on TikTok and Instagram. Your
Yeah.
people are there. But doing like live webinar collaborations on like Instagram, like Facebook lives, Instagram lives with other, like for you, the fibromyalgia community, they were really open to partnering with you. And then they have, like 30, 50, 100K following. So you could even make trades with higher up, people who have really high following, and give them for free, the owner of the account or the organization. And then in return, they share it to their email list and they post on their social media. So you want to utilize partnerships as well and collaborations, and then doing like the Instagram or Facebook lives, like where you discuss a topic from your program with, another person who, like the fibromyalgia community. They can
Oh,
do a couple
okay.
questions like on a live. So it'd be like this basically, but on the platform. And then you would just answer, and then, your words would lead into, for more information, for more guidance, check out my course, my next cohort. It's going live and the wait list is linked below.
I see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you want to open up channels. You don't want to minimize yourself to just Facebook. You want in your newsletter, you want different platforms, you want ads, at least to bring in more people. Because the higher amount of like audience that you have, it makes it so much easier to not bust yourself and burn out yourself doing all these things. Because once you build your audience and your leads, your email list, then they tend to buy more, they tend to sign up more. Hopefully that makes sense, but there's a lot that you can do. And I know like you want to take it step by step, and that's wise to not overwhelm yourself. But those are some things I would do. Definitely ads. That'll be the
Okay.
quickest. That will be the quickest way to bring in the leads and even people to your website as well. But yeah, you definitely want to have a landing page on your practice website. You want a landing page specifically just for your fibromyalgia coaching and program, and you want to put the link on that landing page. You can put the link to the wait list, or you can have like an opt-in form, like an email form where they sign up in the email that is directly in Kajabi, and then
Okay.
them over to the Kajabi. So you want a landing page on one of your tabs on the practice page, and then people who visit, who go, this isn't for me, but I want to learn more from her because she's an expert, and here's a whole program, here's coaching, so here's a podcast. So so you want to include it, at least one page on there.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate.
Yeah.
Dean, I'm wondering about working with other docs as well, collaborating.
Yeah. There's a lot of rheumatologists who are creating courses, and a lot of rheumatologists who are in the same spot, like they have their practice and they're just now bringing out their courses or their live program cohorts. There's a lot of rheumatologists out there, and they're doing really well, and different niches. Like I work with a pediatric rheumatologist, and she's done really well and built a really great platform and audience, and we've tried all different types of marketing things to see what works for her audience.
And what platform does she host her courses?
We did Teachable for her.
Teachable.
Yeah.
Do you know? You said there are many rheumatologists. Who else are you aware of that is doing this? I only know about Dr. Diana Girnita. She's in California.
I can email. I'll email you the list.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Except for my client.
I would appreciate, so I can connect with them.
Yeah. And then you can also look at their social media too, to see, and they're like different ways that they launch, and then their websites as well.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
Take some ideas and inspo for yours. That's the best way.
I was going to say, one thing we didn't talk about, there's so many things we didn't talk about because it was a huge topic, Taylor, is I lose track of, like, not lose track, like, so I meet with an accountability partner, and one of the things I said to her today was, I need to find other people to inspire me, because you run into like those ruts of like, oh, I don't know what to post or whatever. And honestly, if you're living and breathing this on your side job, or like living and breathing what you're doing, I honestly think you run out. But for me, I do this on a side job, right? Like I'm working full time on this, and I lose, like, what do I post about? And this, we're talking about the leadership aspect. I'm not talking about female physician entrepreneurs. And that's like one of the things that you really should have, like 3 or 4 accounts minimum that you go to on a regular basis, that you're looking at, not just steal their stuff, but seeing what's popular, what's not popular. Like I went to Simon Sinek today, right? He does leadership talking, and one of his videos got 60K where most of the others were 15K. I'm going to take that video that he got 60
Yes.
on, and I'm going to redo that idea and make it
Yes.
my own words and add some things and
Yes.
what I think is important. But the title's going to be similar, like to draw those clicks or whatever.
Yeah.
Use, like, it's right there. Like I always say, we're physicians, we study
Mhm.
what's working, and
Yeah.
take on like get ideas from that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that I do the market research for my clients too, to save them time. But if you don't have a team member helping you, go to the viral doctors, go to the mid-viral doctors as well, and then the lower, smaller audience doctors. See what each of them are doing on their funnels, their sales, their types of content, the CTAs, the tools that they're using, and even the styles, the way they talk in the reels, the formatting, the types of carousels. Obviously, do your own brand so you don't get copyright, flagged. But you can definitely replicate and, get inspo from the more viral creators, and really just keep trying these different types of content so that you know what your audience wants. So yeah, 100% Sharon, you're doing exactly what I tell everyone to do. It's a strategy.
But if you really are trying to build, like, and you have a source, or you want to sell something, those are the things that I would do. Definitely
Correct.
collaboration. It helps because someone else is sharing their audience. Consider affiliates. But yeah, and then
Collaboration, yes.
uh,
I doing the IG lives are huge, are very, very huge. Even doing podcast episodes with other people in your specialty. Like if you do midlife menopause, get on the menopause podcasts. They are very well connected. They will get you places. and even like, weight loss podcasts or business leadership, get on these podcasts, get articles, just get yourself out there, and really just keep trying, keep doing it, because eventually you will meet the people that you need to meet, get these connections, get the collaborations, and one person can change your entire life really when it comes to business, and can open up opportunities that you haven't thought about. So just get out of your shell and just try different things always. Bye, Martina. Thank you.
that's one of the things that I will suggest is that when you're meeting with somebody, like with a podcast or you're doing an Instagram live, you have a few minutes ahead of time or after to talk to them. Let them know that you're interested in meeting, and ask them if they have. And I've said this before with these talks that we do. Let them know it and ask them if they know anybody. They may not know somebody at that very moment off the top because you
Correct.
catch them off guard, but you follow up with an email and say,
Yes.
"Thank you very
Follow
much.
up.
You know of anybody?" It gives them a few more minutes to think about this. I've met a lot of people that way. So I'm not even sure how we met. If you think back, like, I think you reached out to me, but you had known me for like it was a friend of a friend or a Facebook.
Oh yeah, my client told you about me.
But it is,
and you reached out. Yeah. And now we create these beautiful workshops together, and have taught so many physicians. So yeah, it's a matter of connecting with people and being able to have that, reciprocating relationship where I give, you get, and establishing these beautiful relationships anyways. And, it's just nice to be connected and build these beautiful friendships and relationships in the physician world, because so many people, you make friends, you make colleagues, there's just so many opportunities, with networking and, building relationships, genuine ones, with people who you align with as well. You may meet, some higher influencers that you just do not align with. That's okay. There will be others who have similar or more audience to share, and a better heart that is aligned with yours, personality, etc. It's just a matter of following up. It's a matter of reaching out and, taking the chance. And I know I need to do it a little bit more, myself, but I've seen and I've done it for clients, and I've seen these opportunities. It's just amazing to see like what comes from a simple email follow-up from a podcast. It's crazy.
You look at those. I think I've said this before too. Like depending on the season that I'm in, I'm really busy sometimes, or I just have other things going on in my own personal life that have nothing to do with you. You may email me. I just don't have the heart to get back to you right now. I just don't. Yeah. So there's people that check their emails every day. I don't check my email every day.
And that's with a lot of physicians, so yeah.
I try to do it on the weekends. And even then I still have to like prioritize who I'm going to answer. Like Taylor had written to me and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm away. I'll get to this, but I am away like past week. And so it depends on the season that the person's in too. Just don't take it personal. Just keep on going.
And don't give up too. If someone doesn't have openings to go on their podcast in the spring, reach out to them at the end of summer for their fall schedule. Just always follow up, continue. It's all of these actions. It depends on how much you want it. It depends how much you want to be successful, is how you're going to implement all of these strategies. And you can do one by one. And eventually you're building all of these strategies so that there's multiple strategies, multiple funnels going, and doing it one by one, step by step at your timing and your seasons does help, and it prevents burnout.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. I put my email in the chat if anyone has any questions. AB, I know you asked for it, so my email's in there. So please ask questions, connect with me. I can send resources, etc., point you in the right direction, or help you myself. So yeah.
Bye, everybody. Good luck with everything, guys, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.